Today's show is brought to you by Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, the green juice, solves the problem of juicing greens on the go. We all know that we need to get those fruits and greens and vegetables and all that in our diets, guys, and here's a quick and easy way to get it. You just add water, drink, and let your body soak up the benefits. Visit Organifi.com to learn more about an exciting offer for you, our podcast listeners. That's Organifi, Organifi.com. Today's show is brought to you by Hellofresh. Hellofresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can cook, eat, and enjoy. They also offer a wide variety of chef-curated recipes that change weekly. So sign up today for a total of $60 off. That's $20 off each of your first 3 boxes. You can visit HelloFresh.com/success60 and enter the promo code success60, and that's success60.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
What's going on? Hey, if my voice sounds a little dull, let's just say we're not in San Diego no more.
Well, speak for yourself, because I think the good doctor may still be.
No, that's right.
Douglas,
Yeah,
Douglas, are you enjoying that sunshine still?
Well, it's a little cloudy here in San Diego off the harbor, so it's
off the harbor.
the sun is not shining.
It's a
The
little
sun is not
cloudy here.
shining quite as much,
Well,
but
it's still
uh,
also like
still-
6 o'clock, so give it about
Oh,
an
that's
hour or
true.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, it's still a little
absolutely.
cloudy here in Michigan,
I'm just
too,
speaking
just for the
about
record.
now. I can only speak about now.
Yeah, no, I was there and I was happy to get home to the squad, man. Shout out to everybody who came out to San Diego. That was a great
Yes,
event. I
sir.
think that was, y'all gonna think I'm hedging, but I think that was our best take control. It was like
Yeah, I
the
just
biggest
told-
for sure, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Ken just now with the biggest. I was like, yo, it just felt easy. Like, it felt smooth, like start to
Yeah.
finish. Everything went real good, man.
Yeah, no, shout out to everybody who came out, man. That was one of our biggest events for the Take Controls anyway. You know, they're a little smaller, just, more entrepreneurial all-day conference, but we had a packed house, man. So shout out to everybody who came out in San Diego and showed love. Lion of the week, Gazelle of the week. I got a lion of the week, and it's whoever found my wallet on the shuttle bus in the San Diego airport. I didn't even tell y'all. So I had landed, and the Gazelle of the week, it's a combined here. The Gazelle of the week is Enterprise Rental Car, okay? How in the world, now I got to the Enterprise joint, you know how it is, you get off the plane and you gotta take the shuttle to the rental car spot. I kid y'all not, there was about 30 people in line. Now, normally I would have Ubered, but I'm like, man, we got a lot of shaking and baking to do. Sometimes, you know me, I like to drive my own whip. I get car sick easy. So I told Tay, like, yeah, just go ahead and rent a car. So I get there, there's 30 people in line and one person working. And all of the little kiosk machines are broken. I said, yo. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my goodness. There's 2 kiosk machines that are open, 2 that are like shut down. They won't work. I'm like, yo, so I'm trying to get somebody, I can't get anybody. So long story short, I was like, man, bump it. Uber it is. So I jumped back on the shuttle. Some kind of way I left my wallet on the shuttle. I don't know how it happened. It must have fell out of my pocket, even though I don't really see how it happened. But long story short, I get to the hotel and Josh and I about to check in. And they, of course, like license or whatever. I go to fill in my pocket. I'm like, yo. I'm feeling around. I'm like, I don't even have any bags other than my suitcase. So I'm like, yo, my wallet is just gone. So I thought it was in the Uber because we Ubered over to the hotel. So I'm like, man, call the Uber driver. So we can't call the Uber driver directly. He's got some crazy number. So we're like leaving messages for him. And I was like, man, this just never happens. Let me just be for real. So I'm like, yo, out of chance, I probably left it in the Uber, but I'm thinking maybe I left it on the bus or the shuttle. So I just literally go on Google and type in San Diego Airport, lost and found. Just, that's it. And it comes up, a number comes up. I call the number, somebody picks up on the first ring. Boom, hello? Hey, I was just there on the shuttle. Is this Carlos? I was like,
Oh, wow.
What? Bruh.
Wow.
I was like, yo, my man. He was like, yeah, I got your wallet, bruh. I was like, oh.
Wow.
So my man, whoever found it and was a good citizen and didn't just start swiping my card, you are the Lion of the Week. Enterprise, you're the Gazelle of the Week. So I had to give a shout out. But tell me that never, I mean, it happens for E. He always ends up getting his stuff back. But I promise you, I don't ever get my stuff back. So anyway,
I was going to tell y'all though, there is a automatic insider in National. They have, National is a built-in insider. For those of you who rent cars, I'm not necessarily, shouldn't be getting this free advertisement, but National, when you reserve with them, you just go pick up your whip and drive off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I ain't had an insider plug like that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know if that was like a thing.
Yeah, oh no, National, they are an insider. So they don't make you, you don't have to do all that.
Okay, I had Enterprise. Yeah. That might have been.
Enterprise. Yeah, no. National.
Okay, because I remember you saying that because we had a business account. I thought we were with Enterprise.
I think we got multiple business accounts now.
Yeah, we are.
I think we got multiple.
Enterprise. I'm just saying.
That makes sense.
So if you're Enterprise, how do you have one person working though? Now, come on, man. At the San Diego airport, it's 30 people in line, and I felt bad because you could tell he was hurting. But I'm like, yo, you got one person working? That's ridiculous. Like, come on, man, get out of here. So,
hey, tell that to Walmart, tell that to the Secretary of State, tell that to all the businesses that be doing that.
Well, at least Walmart, you getting cheap prices. You know what you signing up for at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Enterprise. I didn't go to like Leroy's rental car. You know what I'm saying? Like, now if I would have went to Leroy's and got a Honda Civic for $2 a week. Thrifty. You know what I'm saying? I can understand. I'm talking about Enterprise. You're supposed to be top of the line. Anyway, hey, before I catch up on y'all weeks, man, I want to do something, man. I want to switch it up a little bit. They called us dumb on the podcast. And so I was like, yo, my guys, we not dumb. Like, we actually smart dudes. So I was like, yo, let's go with like a little Who Wants to Be a Secret to Success millionaire trivia. And just to show the people, because I got so much feedback from the negative feedback, and everybody was like, oh, that was crazy. And I was like, yo, why were people acting like, they call E Dr. Dre, Dr. Pepper, Carl ain't this, ain't that. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to show y'all my guys are smart. So if we got like a little theme music, you know what I'm saying? Like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme music, I got a couple quick trivia questions for y'all. Hopefully we can answer them and just, you know what I'm saying? Shut the haters down.
No pressure.
You know what I'm saying? So here we go. So I'm gonna read the question. You and Carl work together and you just give me the final answer. And I'm about to show y'all that we actually are, I believe, the smartest podcast on the internet. All right, so this should be, it's a piece of cake. The questions range from anything from sports to pop culture to whatever. So y'all allowed to work together, but we're gonna prove all the haters wrong right here. So question number one, y'all ready?
You ready?
And this would be very easy for y'all, but to the theologians that you are, what are the first three words in the Bible?
In the beginning.
The final answer? You good with that?
I go with Carl, in the beginning.
Okay. Ding. Good job. All right, see, we're one for one.
Hey, 1 for 1.
All right, E, this one is for you because it involves your lineage. Saint Patrick is the patron saint of what country?
Ireland.
Hey!
Let's go.
Hey, we off to a rocking start. Okay, cool. All right. Who painted the Sistine Chapel?
Come on. Sistine. I was about to mess up Carl. Carl may have to. I was gonna say Michelangelo, but Carl gonna have to.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say too.
Ding.
Okay.
Oh, y'all on fire.
Oh,
y'all
are
on fire.
Let's get it.
All right. From what tree do acorns come from?
Pine.
Oh, is that the oak wood?
I'm gonna go with the pine.
Where y'all going?
It ain't pine?
Oh no, you gotta get this guy, gotta get on the same page now.
Carl said the pine. Okay, I'll go with, I have to go with Carl. Shoot, I wanna go with the oak wood.
Hold on. No
You know, I
Googling
went to
over there.
Oakwood.
Do not
Oh
Google.
yeah, no. I'm trying to think.
What's the pine?
It's them pine
Oakwood
trees that got the little egg. Wait, hold on. No. I'm thinking of the pine cone. Shoot.
I need an answer.
Hey, E, how sure are you? You 50% sure?
You know, I ain't never 100% sure. But hey, that's not, school ain't my thing, but that's the first thing came to my mind. And what's his name? Michael Gladwell in Blink, the book Blink, he said, you got to go with what comes with, you know what I'm saying? First thing comes to mind.
So I'm going with E then. No, I was thinking of the pine cone, so I'm rocking with E on this one. We're going with E.
So the final answer is oak?
Yeah.
I said Oakwood, Carl said pine, so Carl must have been right, because he going slow.
Nope, he got it. Y'all right.
Yeah, no.
Oak. Great
There we
job.
go. Yeah, no. I just thought of the pine cone. That's what I thought of first. That's why I went there.
All right,
No.
let's do one or two. Y'all killing it. We undefeated right now. I just wanted to show the people. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, my guys are smart. What is the name of the money they use in Japan?
Ooh, yen? Shoot, my bad.
Yen. Yep, it's the yen.
Correct.
Let's go.
Great job.
Let's go.
Well, hey, well, you know what? I'm cheating because Detroit, what do you call it? The automotive show. The Asians would come a lot, and my boys in the hood would come back with a couple of their dollars geeked up. So yeah, the yen boy.
Yep, yen. That's correct. All right, this one is a little bit tougher. Name the most famous nurse of Victorian times who improved care for wounded soldiers.
Ooh. Ooh, see, now okay, say that one again. I was going to say Florence Nightingale.
Nightingale. I had Nightingale.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, shut it down. Shut it down.
I'm done. That's it. Hey, thank you for playing Who Wants to Be a Secret to Success Millionaire. They got all the questions right. We didn't plan this, no rehearsal. We will bring that segment. Hey, so what I'm gonna do from now on is every time we have to do the negative feedback, I'm gonna come back just to combat all the foolishness and show people how smart y'all are. On everything I love, we did not pre-plan that. They didn't know. I'm not saying it was necessarily Jeopardy questions, but they wasn't easy either. All right, and some of y'all out there listening, you didn't know it. So get off my boys, right? All right, cool.
Well, I did go to school. You know what I'm saying? And I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express.
And quiet as kept, those were like questions that were on the GED test. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no question.
That's why he killing it like that.
Yeah, no doubt. He like Oak Tree, baby. I know that one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, quick shout out to Glenn Twitter. I don't know if y'all looked at the Secrets to Success podcast Instagram recently, but Glenn sent me a graphic yesterday that Nikki posted yesterday. I'm not going to tell y'all. If you haven't seen it, go look right now. It's based on last week's podcast. Did you see it? Oh, I was crying.
I saw it. Who did
you
that?
see it? Glenn said he had somebody do it. It's all the way from Australia, y'all. Glenn was like, Glenn said he was laughing so hard he had to do something about it. He's I can't laugh this hard and not do something. Dude, I was crying. Did you see it, E?
I didn't see it.
Just go look at it.
Send it to him,
Go look at it. All right, hold on.
I'm going to look now.
Go to the S2S podcast.
S2S podcast. Y'all got to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie. It was, and whoever did it killed it. I was like, yo, who did that? That was some pretty good Photoshop there. So, yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I love it.
You see?
He is the champion, my friend.
He is the champion, my friend.
Yeah, that's crazy. What was I gonna say? All right, what's today? All right, cool. Again, one of those things like, yo, how do you bring up your birthday? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking, like my homie called me a minute ago and was like, yo, he was talking about like something else. And I was like, should I tell him it's my birthday or should I just let him go? And then, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, I thought you was calling to wish me happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of let it roll. But again, man, shout out to, and I just want to say it on the podcast because I don't know how, I don't even know, I'm not even on social media, so I don't really know how everybody knows it's my birthday, but I got like 8 million text messages in my phone.
Doubt.
And I'm super grateful for everybody who said, yo, C, happy birthday. Appreciate it. We're not doing much. The kids gave me some cards. Oh, shout out to Candace who got me some framed posters for the media room. I got, why she give me The Last Dragon though?
Hey, she didn't get the Conte Monte Cristo for you?
I guarantee nobody has that in their theater. If you got that in your theater, you better put it on the S2S podcast page and say you got it and put a pick up. I bet you I'm the only one with the Bruce Leroy poster in the theater. So I'll put a pick up. But yeah, I got the Bruce Leroy. She got me the Boys in the Hood, Coming to America, and Black Panther. So yeah, and she got them framed. So that was the gift from her and the kiddos. They woke me up super early this morning. And yeah. And
how's it feel to be crossing over? You're starting to leave them 30s behind now.
Man, I'm trash, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You don't get no love. So, yeah, no, it's, the 30s is treating me good, man. I was in the gym today. I went extra hard, just like, come on, see, it's your birthday, like, show up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I went hard, man. And, I'm feeling good, to be honest. My shoulder is not in the greatest shape. But other than that, man, I feel energetic, I feel positive, I feel strong. So that's enough of birthday talk. What's going on with y'all? Catch me up real quick and then we'll dive into something more serious.
I'm gonna just keep this real simple for me. I see snow in the forecast for this week. We got snow in the forecast, yes, for this week. I don't care if it's 3 flurries or not. We in November. I just left San Diego at 70-some degrees, and I came back to see snow in the forecast this week. So that's how I'm doing, y'all. That's how I'm doing. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Those first few days of snow is not really that bad. You know what I'm saying? No, it's around about end of January, early February where it just get real old real quick. So, you know what I'm saying? You'll be straight.
Quick, bro.
And E probably don't plan on going back till about
I'll
April.
see E in like April next year. Man, graduation time, we'll see E again.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm thinking of a master plan, but I will say, honestly, guys, while of course, our listeners, I did stay here for 2 weeks. But it wasn't just about rest and relaxation. It was also about, getting prepared for 2019. It's not easy for those of you who are chasing whatever your top is in your industry. Once you get to, that particular place, that whatever your dreams and goals are, like maintenance is real, and we talked about it before, but there are a lot of people who, mess up their vehicles or their parents' vehicles, not, doing regular maintenance. There are people who have beautiful homes, but the value of it goes down because they don't do maintenance. People buy houses and think that that's it. You buy the house, you never have to clean the windows. You never have to do maintenance. And it was funny. My furnace ended up going out, and what they told me it was the motor. They said the motor was bad, which is crazy because I was like, yo, how did I fix it when it was the motor? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But the guy told me, and I was just telling him when I was a kid growing up, I don't ever remember our furnace going out. I was like, bro, he was like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. They don't make them like that. But if you want, the life of the furnace to last longer, he was saying what you need to do is you need to buy the maintenance package, and they come in twice a year. And he was like, believe it or not, there's a lot of dust in your home. He's like, it's just a lot. So I would just say to those of you, who are grinding, you out here making it happen, don't forget, when you get wherever you're trying to get to, like, don't chill. And so, yeah, man, I'm out here learning. I'm out here, sitting among other people who, are in the industry and, maybe on my level or beyond my level, whatever you call it, getting some great insight. So just make sure, for those of you listening, man, you don't get to the point where you grind, and you get married, you do all of that, and then you get into marriage and there's no maintenance in it. Just period. Whatever you're doing, make sure you understand the value of maintenance and keeping up with whatever you're doing so that you don't get, irrelevant, you don't get old, you don't get stale, but you continue to have the success that you're having and maybe even greater success if that's possible.
Yeah, no doubt. And shout out to the insider who he brought to San Diego. Oh, we saw an insider. Me and Carl got to look at one.
A live sighting.
Yeah.
What was my man's name?
Live sighting. Robert.
Oh, yeah, Robert. So shout out to Robert, who was the insider at the hookup. But no, you make a good point, man. You got to maintenance it. So let's transition in. So you kind of set the stage. I know you saw, your wife had you watching, what was it, Will and Jada, and you hit me up like, yo, see, I watched this thing and it kind of talked, I guess it was called Red Table. I've never seen it myself, but it's called Red Table. Is it a podcast?
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know if it's podcast. Didi, what is it, just Red Table? She said it's just Red Table Talk. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Red Table Talk.
It's like an interview or something.
Yeah, it's Jada Pinkett, her daughter, and her mom.
Okay.
And Will Smith is not on it regularly, but the last 2 episodes, I mean, it may be another one out by the time this come out, but the last 2 that we listened to, they were with Will Smith. And I watched it before with D. It's pretty good. Like, I don't watch it religiously. Y'all know I'm not really like into, cinema or TV or anything like that. But my attention span is kind of low. But I watched it before, and it was some interesting stuff. Like, they're pretty transparent. Jada has talked about just a lot of stuff. Like, you gotta go see it, but she has opened up. But this particular one, she was talking about just her marriage, and her life with Will. And my wife, she kept like, Eric, I want you to watch. And I'm like, okay, what I'm saying? Like, be honest with me. If you keep telling me you want me to watch it, is there something specific you want me to watch?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a message that you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just tell me. She's like, no, I need you to watch it. And I was like, all right, cool. So it was pretty interesting. And I think the piece that like we had to speak about later was Will had these dreams and these goals, and Will has been killing it. And she actually showed like the time when, whatever the movies were he did that he blew up, might have won a Nobel Prize, like he was with the President Barack Obama doing this. I mean, Will has been doing it. But she talked about how, and some of those years were miserable. And it was almost like this idea of, Will had these dreams and these goals, and he almost took his family hostage. It was like, I'm gonna buy this big house, and he bought a big house, and, he was like, I don't know why she not grateful. And even the mom was like, she was tripping, I don't know why she wasn't grateful. They got this big house, they're on the island, and she was like, yeah, but you were passionate about your dreams and goals. Like I was just like a pawn in your big picture, and I lost my career because we had kids, and I decided that I need to stay home with the kids. And then, even his daughter talked about the fact that she shaved her hair because that was Dad's dream. Like I whipped my hair back and forth, and he was like, look, we got a contract with Jay-Z. Like, I can't believe. And so the way she got out of it was she cut her hair. She was like, flat out, I can't sing. I whip my hair back and forth if I don't have no hair. And Jada was just talking about I'm not, okay. Keep going. Yeah, so Jada was just like, Will, you was blowing up and doing your thing, but, your family wasn't necessarily happy. But you was happy though. But we weren't happy. And so Jada like got to a point.
What happened to happy husband, happy life?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That don't work. Yeah. That don't work, bro. There's no such thing as that. So for real, for me, I kind of was just like, Didi, you showing me this. Is there a reason why you showing me this? You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Yeah, so, of course, Didi was like, well, it's not that extreme as it relates to me, because she like, for real, I'm not going to necessarily let you do me like that. I had my own career. I was a nurse or whatever. But at the same time, you need to be cautious because you're very ambitious and you're driven, and you need to make sure that, you're in terms of your family, that you're not taking your family on your ride. Then she talked about Jada, and she's like, well, I think Jada, whatever. She's like, my major concern is Jalen. That's my major concern because I know Jada is going to do what Jada wants to do. Like, Jada's not going to necessarily let you push her. And I was like, well, I don't think it was pushing. Like, I'm trying to find out what my kids want to do, and I'm trying to, assist them. So with Jada, I know she wants to be a social worker, so the DISC assessment, like, that's her thing, whatever. So with Jalen, it's just different because, my man don't really know, like, he might say what he want to do, but he not necessarily putting in the same grind that his sister or whatever. So she was like, well, I think Jalen was the one that kind of was the Will Smith kind of scenario. So I was like, all right, we'll call Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Let's call Jalen and let's talk. And so we had a talk, and he was like, well, maybe last year, but now I kind of feel like I whatever. So it was a good, real good conversation. And I'm telling you, like, one of the things it did for me was say, like, for real, you can't have, like, you can't be so ambitious that you leave your family behind. And not necessarily behind. I guess I'll speak for myself. I'll give this trip, like, we'll say, traveling, for example. Of course, Didi had MS. And so when I did my homework, I found out that vitamin D is important. So for me, it's like California, Florida, I'm trying to whatever. But when I think about what Will and Jada were talking about, I was like, you know what? I never asked Didi what she wanted. Like, we never had the conversation. In my mind, I felt like this is what is best for her. And I'm not saying that vitamin D, being in Cali, being in Florida is not good for her. I'm sure it is. But it was like, we never had a conversation about it. It was like, yo, this is my interpretation of what's best for you. And so I started making moves. And it was funny, last week, Didi was like, yo, I need to get your calendar, because I don't even know. She's like, you got all these trips and all this stuff planned for me, but like, you haven't involved me at all, like in terms of calendar even. I don't know when we going, where we going. I don't know how to pack, what to pack. And I was just like, wow. And I remember she got mad at me once because I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Cam Newton had his kickball event, celebrity kickball event. But he also had the night after a ball. And I didn't even know that, like, I wasn't even like on that. And so Didi found out and was pissed. And I was like, yo, Cam ain't tripping, you can wear whatever. And she was like, I'm not trying to go to no ball, wear whatever. Like, you didn't tell me, I didn't have a chance to pack and plan, So it was like one of those evenings where it's like, go by yourself. So it wasn't the best, I went for a couple hours and came back, but I could have really got into it had I told her about it. So that was one thing. The second thing, I think I said it. One is you got these dreams and goals, for people, and you don't get them involved. Two, I didn't really do a good job of communicating, like, whether it be weekly, whether it be monthly, whatever. I'm just out here grinding, doing my thing. Like, I'm doing this for us. And it was funny. Didi said to me, when she identified with Will, she was like, I'm not trying to say you're not doing it for your family, but you got to be honest about, it's some selfishness in there. Like, don't act like you just doing it all for us, because that's not the truth. A lot of it is, these are your dreams and your goals, and you try to put us in it to make yourself feel better, but all of this ain't about us. Some of this is about you. And I had to sit back when we were talking and be like, yeah, you're right. Like, absolutely. So I want to do a better job moving forward with communicating to you about us, because you do have to get on a flight. You do have to get in the car and drive an hour, maybe here, there. You do have to stay, whatever. So I thought that was deep, man, because it was like, you got your truth, their truth, whatever the truth might be. And sometimes it can get murky, because for real, you operating in your truth. You operating in, this was good for Didi, or this is what's good for our family, or this is what's good for me, and that's my truth. And it's like I said, Didi's not tripping about the life we live. She's not like pissed off, She's probably a little bit, from what I heard from Jada, and maybe it was because of the children, but Didi is not a person who, she's not a pushover. You're not just going whatever, but she was just like for real, that's your truth. You telling me you're doing this, and that, but you haven't spoken to me about it. And I was just like, wow, that's deep. It's like my truth, her truth, and then our truth. And so for me, it's like, again, I got to communicate more with her. I've got to let her know what my plans are before. She like, yo, before you even start planning, it'd be good if you could get me involved in the planning. Like, before you say we going to Cali for 2 weeks, can we talk about we going to Cali for 2 weeks? And can we talk about, the specifics, like what's the motivation, why, how long we staying? Because I like to be at the church sometimes. She's like, I know for you, you're not necessarily like the one that want to clean the church and do all that, but I like to physically be there. Like, there was a program we missed this weekend called Mommy and Me, where the mothers and daughters came and they did a pedicure, manicure. They did some like self-reflection type stuff. They ate, and Didi was like, yo, I love being on the road, the whole nine, but I planned that event and I wasn't there for that event. But we did do Take Control, So at no point did I get a call that Take Control was this weekend, So I wouldn't have scheduled my thing the same weekend as whatever, so it's just a good conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said before, maintenance, and a lot of times we got these vehicles and we driving them, meaning my goals, my dreams, me looking out for my wife, my family, trying to make money, help Jada finish school, whatever, and not necessarily maintenance, doing the maintenance part.
Yeah,
because
and the crazy thing is, we talked about it in the marriage stuff, but the crazy thing is, when you don't maintenance it, what happens is you risk the whole engine. And then what can happen is the engine could blow up, and then the car is actually, not worth anything, or it costs more to fix it than the car is actually worth. And so you end up in divorce or whatever, because it's going to cost more to fix your marriage than it is. You know what I'm saying? To actually just go on ahead and get you a new one, or get a divorce. It'll cost more, but there was nothing wrong with it except for the fact that you didn't maintenance. Like, flat out, you gotta change the oil, or I don't care how sweet your ride is, you're gonna blow the engine out if you don't. If you just keep driving it without maintenance it. And so that's a good point. But I want to go back and ask you, because I think this is important. And don't just think about it. He's talking about it in terms of his marriage, but think about it in terms of your business, in terms of your personal life, your spiritual life, whatever. Why didn't you include her? Was it a situation where you felt like if you included her, it was going to slow you down, or if you included her, she could possibly say no? What was the reason you had for not including her on the decisions in the first place? Like, why didn't you say to her, like, yo, we about to go to Cali for 2 weeks. Are you straight with that? Like, what was it that was? Is it just honest oversight? Like, what was it that you didn't want to include her in that?
I just think, what I'm saying, I'm thinking I know what's best for her. And not in a bad way, you know what I'm saying, but in a good way. I'm thinking, all right, I know your health, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not thinking about, like you said, the maintenance part. I don't think with Didi it's even a California situation. Like, she wasn't pissed to be here. She loves it, enjoys it. I was in a meeting yesterday, and she was like, yo, I'll stand outside. Like, I'm gonna go to TJ Maxx and I'll just sit outside. It's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, yo, how is it that you're doing something for me, but you're not talking to me about what you're doing for me? Like, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? She's like, you're going to California for my health, but you're not telling me, you're not informing me of what's going on. So for me, I think I had just got so ambitious, I guess, like, yo, I want to take care of my wife. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure Didi's happy. I know she like Cali, so I got a gig in Cali. Then we got to take control. Then I got another gig. I got, people over here in the industry that I, admire, but I don't necessarily, I never really put them in my schedule because I'm on the East Coast. But now I'm on the West Coast. Like, I can meet with this person. And so I guess I got so caught up in, looking after her that I didn't look out for her, And like I said, just by talking to her, it would have, I don't think Didi would have been like, I don't want to go. But I think even with the women's event she did, she was hurt because it was like they thought she was coming. She had talked to Tamisha, she had talked to Camille, and it was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then it's like, yo, my name now, like it's making me look bad because this is a big program and I'm not there for it, So yeah, man, I think, again, and I shouldn't say we like to say, we like to clump other people in so it makes us feel better. Let me not do that. Let me take complete ownership. I just got so ambitious and I just got so, excited and geeked up. Like, I can make this happen. I can do this. This is another thing I'll be able to check off. And, I'll be able to, like, not in a bad way, but like, I'll be the husband, the husband of the year, the husband that she wants. Like, I'll be, what I'm saying? Like, I did it, yay, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made it work. I made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Hold on now. She in there, shoot.
I love these hotel calls. Oh, I love these hotel calls because I get to hear. Is
that a fan or inside?
Yeah. So I'm not a singer, but I'm going to start singing this song. You
we
got a
bring you
big
to say
ego.
Oh, it's Didi. Oh,
You
I thought it was
got a big
somebody
ego.
I'm used to he talking to E and he walking down the street and somebody.
Oh, yeah, no. So I love these hotel calls because it helps me to, I get a chance to hear what you guys are saying. So I'm listening to Eric, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start this off with a song. You got a big ego. You got a big ego. See, at any time you can put the beat to it. But I'm cracking up laughing because I'm like, wow, he's telling his version of the story, and it's not even how it went down. I almost feel like the Three Little Pigs. You know how the pigs got a side, and then the wolf likes to tell this story too.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm like, dude,
let's get the truth,
you didn't
Dee Dee.
even want
Let's
to
get your
listen
truth.
to the Red Table Talk. That's number one. So I don't even know when you listen, because I tried to listen to you with it, to it with you, and it was like a no-go. So I'm like, okay, when did you even listen to the Red Table Talk? That's number one. Number two,
3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm like, okay, you got Jalen talking about you about to make him into a speaker and he about to write a book. Are you really serious right now?
You don't think Bud can get up and do his thing, a keynote?
Are you serious right now? No, he can't do it.
It's
He can't do
generational.
it.
Mama Thomas dropped her book. He got his out. Jalen got
You know what I'm saying?
He got
You know
to.
what I'm saying?
It just got to.
Yeah. I'm just like, if you don't stop now, and what I was trying to tell Eric is, make sure you check your motives. Like, I don't know if it's your ego or if it's you really trying to take care of me. Like, I don't know if it makes you look or sound good when you say, oh, my wife is traveling with me, my wife is here with me. Okay, are you saying that because it makes you look good, or are you saying that because, no, you're really, really happy? Like, the fact that you could pay for my medicines, or I have MS and I don't work. Like, just check your motives and make sure they're pure, because it could be your ego. Like, you can be going ahead, and just boosting that boy up. So that was my biggest concern, was that. So yeah, that's all I want. Sometimes I do. Yeah. Like, every trip he wants me, Jalen, and Jada there. And I'm like, no, it just can't happen. Like, this is your life. Jada's in school. She can't stop school to be in the audience while you speak. Or, Jalen, of course, he's a lot freer, but I'm just like, no, you can't, we can't stop our lives for your life, if that makes sense.
So you killing my boy for wanting to spend time with his family
With
is
his
what I'm
family.
hearing. You know what I'm saying, D?
Big
You know what I'm saying? You're killing my boy because he wants to spend time with the squad. You know, it's a lot of brothers out there that rather be on the road alone, away from their family. You know what I'm saying? So pick your poison, D.
Why do you have to let everybody know that we're there, though? You don't have to
Well,
get
I
up
didn't
and
say he
speak
didn't have
about
an
it.
ego. That part's true.
Right. You can just be
Notice how I
chilling.
didn't pick that part of the argument. You know what I'm saying?
It only protect you so far.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I still got to get it off as I'm doing it. I still want to let the world know I'm handling my business. What if he's doing it as an example, as a ray of light?
Right, that's what I'm saying, because I'm going to be real. I'm just saying, I'm going to be real. Like, and again, like Didi said, you got two sides to both stories, but I don't see it as an ego. I mean, I don't say me talking about it out loud is to make people feel like, oh, eat a man. That's just not my spirit. But I do think you have so many negative influences in the world that
that's where I was
men
going.
need to understand. Like, the average dude don't even want his woman on a trip. So it's not something that's like even, you know what I'm saying? That's not even something that's appealing. The average guy that's traveling don't want his family with him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
so let me ask you this, though. Can you see what Didi's saying is like almost like you trying to make her like a damsel in distress, too, though? Not that that's your intention, but maybe that's how she feeling like, oh, okay. And I don't know how this turned into a marriage counseling, but you know what I'm saying? Like, she could be looking like, oh, okay, like, bro, I was working, I was doing my thing, you wanted all this, and then you like, I'm taking care of my girl, paying for her medicine, I'm doing this, she traveling with me, she getting the vitamin D, her MS, and she like looking like, whoa, like, I'm a strong woman, so maybe she feel like, yo, you doing all this Hercules stuff, which is cool, but you like broadcasting it as if I like needed that to survive. So maybe it could be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see your point for sure. And I know, and I think anybody who knows E knows, he talk all day long, every day, and don't write nothing down. So what's gonna come out is what he's actually living. So he not saying, I don't believe you saying it like, let me pump myself up about taking care of my wife, whatever. It's the truth of what you're doing. You're a transparent person. You're going to speak about what's going on. But I'm asking you, can you see her side of it that's maybe like, yo, chill. Like, I'm not like the little, wife that just needs you to do everything for her in order for her to survive. You see what I'm saying?
Well, and I think that's why
and especially
me,
Didi ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? Or Ken, or Tamisha.
Yeah.
Like, none of us got wives that want to be looking like they just you know what I'm saying, riding coattail, period.
Yeah, but I think that's why, like I said, she said to watch it. And I have watched the show just because, I just was like on Will. I'm not going to lie and act like I was on the marriage thing, but I was just like, I remember they were so secretive and then they came out so transparent that I was just watching Will just from his swag, like, yo, they about to take over the game again, but with whatever. So I had watched it, but I think when Didi came to me and she felt, I guess, by watching it, comfortable with like, okay, we can talk about this without it blowing up. Like he'll get to see he'll get whatever. So for me, it just like, it goes back to maintenance. Like I promise you, that's why I said what I said earlier. See, you got your truth. Like my mom book came out. I'm looking at some stuff. Even my wife looking at it like, that ain't what happened. But to my mom, it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, from her perspective, that's exactly what happened. So I that's why I think what Didi is saying is important. Like, we got to have maintenance. And before I go on these trips and before I talk, I'll just be talking like from Eric's perspective. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just see things from my perspective. So I'm not saying Didi lying, but I don't see it like Didi. I don't see it as a wife sees
and
it.
I like the concept, and I love the word "see" and the analogy of maintenance. Because when you think of maintenance, what she's asking you to do is include her in the plan. It ain't like you got to do something super deep. It's changing the oil. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go overhaul the engine and pull all these pieces out.
Yeah, but somewhere in your subconscious, and I feel you, bro. Somewhere in your subconscious is like, you know, that's Pandora's box if I start including you. Because now it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Ugly.
No, I'm just being real, bro.
No,
like it's certain times where I just do stuff and I'm like, because I know if I tell my wife, it's like, yo, we got the, you know, bullet pointed out. We got to have an agenda, a script. You know what I'm saying? So, and not that, I'm saying it's not even a conscious thing. It's just a subconscious thing of like, okay, I'm going to just book it, do it. All right, let's go. So I don't have to deal with that other side. Not saying it's right. I'm just letting you know, you know what I'm saying? Probably why you're not including her. Because if once I include you, now it's like we opened up a whole rabbit hole of where we could possibly go with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, you know, we got to do color-coded binders for the trip.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
question.
pissed. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I understand what you're saying. I think the crazy thing is when you're dealing with relationships and you're dealing with things, you saying your truth, their truth, the truth, it's possible for all three things to really be true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's a feeling or an opinion, which can't necessarily be fact or fiction. Right. If it's a feeling, then it's really a fact. So I don't really know how to, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird because I'm trying to think about it in terms of coming together for that common truth. But both can be true in that you feel good about taking care of D and you talk about that and she feel like you're trying to big time. Both of those things can be true.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't feel, like I said, we'll have a conversation about it. And of course, we'll create our truth, you know, because I got mine, hers, we'll create our truth. But I don't feel.
But can you hold on to yours and hers and ours? Or does it have you have to let go of each of the other ones?
Well, because of the severity of the relationship, we can definitely talk, and I can just say to Didi, okay, for whatever reason, and I know why. Didi is a private person. So anytime I say anything about our family, she's gonna be pissed. Because Didi doesn't feel that people need to know about our family. But at the same time, I do public work. So people aren't going to necessarily follow me if they don't know what they're following, one, and if what I'm saying isn't truth. So you seeing Didi, you know, and you seeing her in whatever capacity you're seeing her, you see that, oh, okay, they are whatever he says they are. So what Didi and I started doing, and again, this is because we communicated last time I was here, but I said to Didi, it needs to be organic, but you can't act like you don't exist. You know, you can't do that. Like, I can't say I'm married and nobody ever sees you, right? So I'm not telling you how to be seen, but at some point you're gonna have to be seen. So you decide how you wanna get that done. But you can't ever come to a conference, or you can't sit in the back and nobody knows who you are. Like, you can't do that. And so Didi decided, okay, I like coming on the podcast every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Tricky, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, go for it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll give Didi credit. You know, Didi will say to me afterwards, like, yo, was I too much? Because I know, because she like, I'm coming like however I feel I'm coming. Then she like, I got MS. So my brain ain't 100%. So my mouth, I can say anything. And I'll just be like, yep, I'd rather for you to be on and be whatever you are than you never to be on. And then at a conference, every now and then, she'll come. Like this last one, I don't know if Didi came to the conference at all on the last. Oh yeah, I think she came for a couple minutes, and then that was it. She was gone. You know what I'm saying? She didn't go to the what do you call it, the VIP or anything like that. But that was our truth. See, that Didi never has to come to any of this stuff. Me, you're married to me. At some point, you have to come. And so it was like, we're not going to tell each other what to do, but we are going to say we need to be present. I can say this: the church, she way more. In the last year, she's been way more active at the church than she ever was. And still, you know, in her own way, kind of like laid back. So I do think you can have your truth, I can have my truth. But if this relationship is going to be, you know, I'm talking about productive. Let's not even talk about blissful. If it's going to be productive, I think we do have to tell our truth, cipher through what our truth is, and then come up with now what's our truth? I heard you, E. I know why you do it. And for real, my father wasn't in my life. So, bro, I'm about to talk about my kids, and I want my kids with me. Absolutely. My father wasn't there for me. And I don't want to recreate that. So as much as I can have my babies with me every single time, and I'm not necessarily doing it to show off.
I promise I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah,
Even as grown as they
me.
are, I don't know if it's going to be like that for me when I'm grown, but I promise you, I definitely want my squad with me everywhere.
Yeah, if I can. But I, like Didi said, I do respect. I bought Jada tickets. She was supposed to be here. Jada called me, Dad, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm like, cool. Because I hate that you can only come for the weekend because she's going to take off school for a week. I was like, bet. Why? My mother was here. Didi's mother was here. They were going to get time with their grandparents. I wanted them to see their grandma with her book release, signing books. Jalen helped his grandma a little bit. You know, but I do understand where Didi's coming from because she's a little bit more private. And I understand the private. Didi's like, if we private, there's less attacks we can take. Because that's Didi's whole thing. Like, Didi's protective, and I don't want nobody in any way harming us. So the best way not to be harmed is to seclude it. I get that. So we got to talk about that and kind of find that balance. But I do think, if you're going to be in especially a blissful situation, we cannot not communicate, but it is so easy to be like, all right, this is what this person wants. Let me go make this happen. You know what I'm saying? And not include them, you know what I'm saying? But still make it happen. So it's tough, bro. And what do we say? If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I'm trying to learn too, because of course, we've been talking about, my wife and her job situation, and I just been like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not pushing. I'm like, because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily want her to do what I want her to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just kind of been chilling and falling back and just being like, yo, I'm a support. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you need to get it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're not about to let it impact our happiness. So, yeah, no, I feel what you're saying 100%. And I think,
and that was Jada's whole thing.
I can't even imagine. Like, I'm a pretty private person, you know what I'm saying? Like, just in terms of like, my family and stuff like that, like social media and all of that, I get a little anxiety about it. Sometimes I'm like, yo, because it's just like, man, you give people so much, and it is, you do want to protect your people, your house, your feelings, your family, whatever. And for D, who's always been a private person, so imagine D being a private person when we met. Now, this is before the hip-hop preacher. This is before millions of followers and people coming up to you in the airport and stuff like that. Like, this is before all of that. And so I imagine it is and I think she's done a great job compared to where, I don't even think I talked to D for like the first 2 years, for real. Like, I might have been like, waves, like, yo.
She told us she ain't private. See, she just don't like to brag. I said, you ain't got no friends ever coming to your house. You don't have one friend that comes to our house. That's private.
Yeah, no, but D says she don't like to brag.
No, she talking about she not a private person. She just doesn't like to brag. I'm like, Negro, please.
Oh, D definitely private. I mean, and more so probably back in the day than now, but yeah, I think you've always been so outgoing that she always had to like combat that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, if D didn't pull you back, y'all would just be running like a whole little missionary at the house. You know what I'm saying? You'd have like a whole mission set up. Like it'd be like homeless folk living in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how you get down.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny when you said that? Life, man, life is crazy. Didi's mom actually did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why, Didi's mom definitely is missionary. People coming in, you know, and out, not in a bad way. You know, she was a missionary trying to look out for people. So you're probably right. Then she marries her mom in that instance anyway. So Didi like, no, we locking this thing down. I'm not, in my childhood, I couldn't help it. You know what I'm saying? My mom, you know, running things, but this is part of my house too. So we're gonna lock it down. But we, and I think we found that balance. And I think that's what's important because there's some people who are listening to us, you might be frustrated. Even as you listening, you frustrated. You like, my wife got hers and I got mine and we can't find our, and I feel you. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be frustrating. You know, it really doesn't. You know, you're going to have challenges because you see things differently. And I don't think when you tell your truth, you have to tell it with anger and you don't have to disrespect the other person's truth. I think what happens is you have to listen and just ask, like Didi said, what are the motives? Because that's at the end of the day, that's it. And if my motives are right, even if my methods aren't right, we can fix my methods. It's hard to fix somebody's motives, bro. Your motives wrong. It's kind of rough to fix the motives. You know what I'm saying? But if it's, he was trying to, okay, I got it, then we can say, okay, Didi, I'm not doing this the right way. What do you want? And I already know, here's a solution, a calendar. Didi, like, that's the number one solution right there. I just need a calendar. I didn't know what state we going to, when we going, because unlike you, Eric, you wear the same crappy clothes every day. The When You Want to Succeed black t-shirt and the shorts and the shoes. I'm a woman. I don't want to be out with a t-shirt on it. So I just need to know where we're going. Is there any like VIP sessions? Is there any dinners? We going to a play? You don't like to dress up. I occasionally like to put on something nice, put on some jewelry. You don't like to do that. So just give me a calendar, give me the events, let me know. Let me know if we staying in a suite, we staying in a 1-bedroom, twin room. Like I need to be prepared. I got my medicine. How many days do I need to pack my medicine? Like I'm not you, Eric. I need a little bit more. I got all the information because I guess I'm the speaker. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly where we're going, but she doesn't. So she said, just give me a calendar. You don't even need to talk to me. Have the person that's responsible send me everything and I'll go through it on my own. So yeah, see, I do think though we can have our personal truth, but when we have our truth, I think that's gonna make it a lot, like you said with Candace, there's a reason why Candace is working. It must not be from a financial perspective, but there's got to be a reason why she's doing it. And while that don't make sense to us, because we thinking, boy, we could use KD on the squad right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. But KD is feeling like KD got some stuff to do in
I'd much rather stay with the Brooklyn Nets than win some chips with the Warriors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Same reason LeBron went back to Cleveland, though. See, LeBron went back to Cleveland because to win a championship at home, like to win 80 championships, but not win one for Cleveland wouldn't have satisfied him. You know, so don't make sense to us that he went back, but definitely I think he can go to sleep at night knowing that whatever his mission was or whatever his purpose was for bringing home a championship, you know, he did it.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you sent this to me the other day, I was thinking like, man, and it's so true. It's like, yo, you have to really search for the truth because when you live in so now let's talk about people who live in like a false truth. You know what I'm saying? Like what happens, I was telling E, and I don't know if I sent E a voice message because that's E's preferred method of communication lately. So I hit you and I was like, yo, what's crazy is when you have a false truth, you start making decisions and moves based on that falsehood. Yeah. And you really work yourself down a rabbit hole of like falsities. And then you look up 2 years later and you're like, yo, how in the world did I get divorced? How in the world did I gain all this weight? How in the world did you lose all my money? You know what I mean? Like, that's the danger of not operating in truth is like, yo, you can let that thing get away from you and it can spiral out of control. And so talk about how to try to find that, maybe if it's not even in relationships, just in yourself, your self-discovery, you know, your personal life, whatever it may be, how do you dig in for that truth if you don't have, say, a wife who's gonna tell you, you know, what she thinks, and, you know, best friend who's gonna tell you what they think, and then even in those situations, making sure that you're hearing and applying that correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that journey of self-discovery look like? So you can, and it's so funny because I look at the best people, like, who are most successful, and everybody else, and I'll shout out to Anders. I was talking to Anders, somebody said to Anders, I think it was Maya or somebody was like, oh, this is Anders, you're like, you know, the top, you know, person and whatever in your field and recruiting. And Anders was like, oh no, I'm definitely not the best recruiter. I don't know who told you that. Like, and I was like, wow, like, so many people would have been just like, let me just take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I am. Or even thought because they were so good in one area, they were good in another area. And there's people on the team who probably aren't on that level who would act like they're on that level. But I'm like, yo, my man, even though he's a 1%er elite of the elite, he refused to take that particular part because he was like, nope, that ain't me. And I'm like, wow, that's why he's successful, because he understands his truth so well. And the people who don't, you see it just backfires. So how do you find that truth and stay in it, I guess?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, I was talking to somebody today, and this was from business, like we were doing business, and I was just saying, you know, how do you say it? You know, you have a DNA, that's what I call it, a DNA. And we talk about the bedrock a lot. But I was explaining that, you know, you have to be cautious when you're dealing with people, because you have to know what their bedrock is. Like, what's that thing that is of importance to them? You know, so for instance, if it's family and you're dealing with somebody, you know, who comes from a healthy family and they're all about family, then, you know, at the end of the day, the goal is family. Like, the goal isn't necessarily a car or a house. You know what I'm saying? And then if you are, whatever your faith is, you know, so if you are, you know, a Christian, there's a certain, you know, Buddhist, Muslim, there's a certain thing that is like your anchor that you're going to go back to that. And I always tell the story when I was in Philly and I was at the flea market and it was time for prayer, that the young man, and I had never seen this before, the young man actually gave me the product and was like, look, I can't take money from you right now. It's time for prayer. And I thought that was deep. I was like, wow, that's his anchor. You know, he prays this particular time every day, and money is not his God. So when he has to make a decision between money, you know, an exchange, and then prayer, he like,
what if you prayed for the money? You know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, let me get that up off you real quick and go pray.
And then let me go pray. Yeah. So for me, when I saw that, I was like, yo, that's deep. And so I think that it's difficult for you to have a truth, a real truth, like you just said, see, when you don't have an anchor. So like when Didi was talking about the ego, you know, and I'm sure every human to whatever extent has an ego. I don't know that I always see ego as something that's negative, but there are people who do have, you know, like it's all about them. Like, so like Didi was saying, it's not about you really, what you say it's about, it's really about you. So if your ego is your anchor, then you probably gonna be in trouble. But if your anchor is your faith or your family, you will always know when you're off target, because if your goal is to weigh 195 pounds and have 10% body fat, well, everything you're doing, you are measuring it against that. You feel me? So for me, it's like, if my marriage is really about Didi and I being happy, and Didi says, I'm not happy, well, I don't care how much money we making, it's not working because she's not happy, you know? Or if, like she's saying, Jalen feels like he's got to live in my shadow, but yet I'm saying at the same time, I want my son to have some autonomy and do whatever it is he's been called to do, but I'm making you do what I want you to do, then that's not, you know, that we're off somewhere, you know? So for me, the way I know it's truth is it's not truth that I make up as I go. It's when you pass go, you collect $200.
Yeah, that's true.
Bottom line.
But it's so crazy because I think, it helped me, man. I didn't even want to go here, but I'm about to go here. For a man, right? And as a husband, you, like, in my mind, I always like equated okay, safety, security, and like balling, finances was like the recipe for happiness. You see what I'm saying? Like as a husband though, like for real, like, and maybe because I'm just being all the way transparent. You see other people who not handling their business, dudes, you know, they worry about paying bills, they getting evicted, or, you know, late on the car note, credit shot. It's like, I think maybe it's the comparison of like, yo, the audacity of you to say you're not happy when we live in this kind of lifestyle.
That's what Will said. Yeah, that's what Will said.
You see what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, because as a man, I just feel like that's like the thing. Like, yo, we're good. Like, our family good. Kids going to private school. We got cars, houses. We got insiders. What in the devil is the problem? And so our truth is something, like, for real, I'm heavy. Like, you heard my wife at the when we was on the cruise. She like, yo, I'm like, boo, we made more money than we ever made. Our marriage, like, we ain't beefing. Like, we got a new crib. Like, what is the problem? And I think that's the thing that hurts so much for a man is like, okay, beyond this, what exactly am I supposed to do to put us in a sweeter situation? Like, what, you want to go to work? You know what I'm saying? Like, because in the man, you like, yo, if you want to go ahead and ball out and make a meal, I'll chill. You know what I'm saying? So I think
for sure.
I'm just being, they gonna kill me. I don't care. I'm just telling you, like, the way in which we kind of view the world is like, okay, I'm meeting all the needs that surely any woman would be happy with. Obviously, it's not the truth. So I'm telling you, okay,
hold
go
on,
for it, D.
Didi.
I'm listening for real.
I was saying, Didi, hold CJ. I just want to co-sign what CJ is saying, and I'm telling, like, CJ, full transparency. I called CJ like, yo, you got to help me through this. Tamisha wants to go back to work, and I'm sitting here like, I understand it. You went to school, you got a PhD, you do all that, but like, what really is the need of you going back to work? So what CJ is saying, like, for real, like, man, what CJ is saying is what I thought. Like, man, we provided everything we needed to, family safe, like bills being paid, like, and not in a bad way. I understand, obviously, you have your life and you want to go, go after your own dreams too, but it almost feels like, man, did we not do enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it, if I doubled my efforts and doubled my income, would that have solved it? Or is it something deeper?
No, because I did. And it still didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
No, you guys
okay, go D. I'm listening, for real. I'm just being transparent.
So,
I'm listening, though.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like, and I'm listening to you guys talk and I'm cringing because it's just like, this is what I thought would make you happy. This is what I thought. Have you ever just stopped to ask me what would make me happy? What are my dreams? What are my goals? What makes me feel secure? And I think that's the problem. We never have that conversation because we're so busy hunting and grinding until we're missing the mark. And your wives are miserable. All of us, all three of us are miserable.
You heard it here on the podcast, y'all, live and direct. The hip-hop preacher, Mr. Quiddy and Mr. Phillips are miserable failures in life and marriage. Yeah. There it is.
All three of us are miserable. Wow. It's almost like you guys got us these big, nice houses, and for that we're appreciative. You did all this nice stuff, and we're appreciative. But then you took us, like Jada said, put us in the glass golden box and put us on the shelf. That's not what we were built to do.
No,
it's almost like you just did a Build-A-Bear.
I'm trying to put my wife on the shelf. She won't let me. She won't let me. And so here go the thing. I feel you, but here go the thing. I have asked that question and I got met with I'm not sure. So I'm like, okay, why don't you take some time off to figure out what, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so let me say this. Okay, so, and like I said, just, full transparency. My wife don't listen to the podcast, thank God. But we had a conversation when we first started. For me, for example, I'm just talking about me. So when we first started this ETA journey, y'all know, obviously we weren't making any money. Candace was working. She was holding it down, full-fledged holding it down. I wasn't making any money. So she was holding it down. So I said to her back then, I know this is not necessarily your life's purpose, your life goals. This ain't, all you dreamed of was to be working for corporate America. But let's get through this. And I got you. We'll get to a spot where and it was kind of an understanding, so I thought. So then when it was okay, cool, I got to a point where it's all right, cool, I got us, let's go. It was And I'm like, yo, what's the problem? So I guess, D, I'm telling you, I don't understand fully all the time, and I'm trying to ask or I'm trying to do better because I don't fully understand what that is. So if I feel like it's not being communicated to me exactly what that is, then I'm going to go off my own assumptions and do what I think is going to make you happy. I'm not just doing it just to, hopefully stroke my own ego. I'm doing it because I'm thinking this is what is going to be best. So,
Yeah, no
you know what I'm
question.
saying? I'm not getting like the most clear-cut answer. Like, I want to do dinner twice a week. I want to do a date night Thursday. I'm not getting that. So I'm just going off what I know.
Yeah, and I just think what Didi said, like what I don't do, I should say what I didn't do enough of, and I'm sure I love Didi. It's probably gonna never be enough, but what I do understand though with Didi is it's like I wasn't treating Didi like I would treat a game changer, you know what I'm saying, or masters of the game, and I realized now I got to do that. With me and Didi, I always felt like it was I do something, it's over. Like, I answered it, it's done. She needed to stop working. That's what we both decided that. Like, that wasn't something I decided. Didi decided, okay, this is killing me, I gotta stop. So we decided that. But once she stopped working, I was like, oh, we good. She where she needs to be. And it was like, E, you can't do that, E. With Didi, you gotta make this thing, when it works, I'm just being real, when it works, it's worship every day. And it's not the traditional worship where we trying to check a box and say we worship. We just find that worship is the place where we could talk about real stuff, about where are we? It's like a SWOT analysis daily. You know what I'm saying? Because for whatever reason, that worship and that gratitude and the Bible, it kind of puts us in a place where we're not combative or we're not, I'm necessarily on the defense, if you will. And when I do that with Didi, blitzful. The only time it's not blitzful is when I do stuff without including her. That's for her. So like with Jalen, it's a conversation me and Jalen had. I never really talked to his mom, but then he'll go talk to his mom. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, put my man on the phone. Let's talk. What don't you? Okay. And then Didi kind of helped out because she was like, okay, Jalen, you say you want it, but your father is, so you can't. And then he's going to take it better from her. With Jada, including. And so I just find that when I ask Didi daily, not once a quarter, because once a quarter, it just be backed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And I know that's hard. But when we're daily communicating, we driving from, like yesterday, we drove from, let's just say Laguna Beach back to San Diego. And we talking in the car, and it is, okay, Didi, we did the red table talk. All right, you felt the little, okay, what do you feel now? You know what I'm saying? Okay, what do you think now? And so I just think, man, and I'm saying this isn't everything, bruh. Not just one relationship. The church, I never forget, I was grinding, bruh, making checks, bringing money back to the church. And I heard rumblings, pastor about to move. I was like, what? I'm about to move. Where you get that from? But the way people interpreted me being gone in the winter, they interpreted, I was gone, see? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gone. I was in Florida. I'm taking pics in Florida. I'm on Instagram, whatever. They're like, yo, he gone. You know what I'm saying? But really, I was only, I was working to make sure that we can get this church project, where we needed to be. The place can look like it needed to be. So I wasn't really whatever, but what I was doing was grinding for the church, but not talking to the church. I was grinding with the church, but I wasn't present with the church. So I might have been grinding for them, but we weren't together. And here's what I love about Didi. Didi will always remind me. Didi will say, don't you ever forget when we was at 7 Pines, we were stupid happy and we wasn't making 6, 7 figures. We were stupid happy. So she's always reminding me, be careful, because as you get more, you thinking more is better, but more might be separating us. So let's just be cautious that, like, we don't take every opportunity. We don't do everything we can. And like I said, man, it hurt me with the church, because I know the church don't hate me. They're not against me. But I was no longer present. And they were like, shoot, if we got a choice, we'd rather take present pastor and stay and continue to go from church to church or building to building and not have our own than to have you get us all this nice stuff, but we don't have you no more and First Lady no more. And I was like, oh, okay. I was I'm talking about ambitious, that I wasn't thinking. So now I promise you, when me and Didi at home, we potluck, we together all day. You know what I'm saying? We went to church Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday if we can be. We on every call. And so not just, for those of you who are listening, not just my wife, but even my church was like, we would rather have your presence than to have a beautiful building. And it was just like, whoa, okay, let me try to see if I can find a happy medium, because I don't like to be going from church to church. I would like to have our own, but I do get you in that it doesn't make sense if we don't have what we had anymore to have all this beautiful stuff. So it's definitely, I'm talking about balance, and it's hard, bro. It is not an easy task.
You know what would make it easier?
Organifi.
Hey! Float on the track like a segue. Shout out to Organifi, man. They came out to San Diego.
They came out to
and
San Diego, that's right.
Everybody with the new flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, and that joint is fire. Did y'all like it? Did you try
good.
it?
I loved it. Like by
Yeah,
far
I
the
didn't get to
best
try it.
out
I
of
didn't
all
get
of them
one.
for
You know,
me.
I came late, so I didn't have wherever my seat was, somebody took mine.
Well, yeah, no, everybody who was in attendance got the free sample, man. Organifi, you guys already know that's what we've been rocking with. If you listen to this podcast and you don't know what Organifi is, you don't listen to this podcast. So you guys already know, which means you need to be trying it, all right? And which means that if you listen to us, we love you so much, we're gonna make sure you get 20% off by using our promo code SUCCESS. All right, promo code SUCCESS, man. Take care of your health, all right? I'm 36 today, all right? 36, I'm getting old. But guess what? The Organifi keeping me young. I'm feeling good. Feel better than I ever felt in my life right now. And I'm on the Organifi daily. I promise you. I don't do all of them daily. I do the green daily. Every once in a while I come with the gold, the red, like I'm switching it up. But I do the green literally daily, man. And it has me feeling like $1,000,000. I felt like a slight little cold coming on because, you know, I had the red eye. Man, I let Josh and Jamal guilt me into taking the red eye. Let me say this.
Dude.
I'm not doing the red eye. I'd rather miss all day Monday. I took the red eye.
You didn't just mess up my house.
Listen to what I'm telling you. See, and I'll let you finish your story, dude. I was a mess. Like I'm talking about lightheaded Monday, dude. I couldn't even walk properly. That junk had me messed up so much. It was bad. It was a combination of we just had the whole day conference.
3 days.
We still on
3 days.
3 days. Oh, that's 3 days, and still on East Coast time. I was still waking up 3 o'clock in the morning.
And the time change.
Yeah. Oh, right. So I got up 3:41 Sunday morning, dude. And we left Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Got home got to the airport, so I had to drive another hour. So I got home 7:30 in the morning. Dude, my body was a mess. Never again.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, no,
Never
I was
again.
blew out. And I let Josh and Jamal talk me into it like, man, you need to hurry up and get. I'm like, first of all, by the time I get there, the kids probably already to school anyway.
So, yeah.
Right.
I'm better off, you know, but I changed my flight because I was like, man, you know, I was trying to be super dad, and I did get there before the kids went to school. Praise God, I got there like 7 a.m. They left at 7:30. But I'm talking about Monday, I was like, I took a nap. I watched Netflix. I was like, I should have just, you know, I'd have been better off. I couldn't even see straight. Like, like Carl said, 3 days going hard, the time change, everything. I was like, yo, I left, and then I tried to get some sleep on the plane, but the lady next to me must have had a weak bladder. Because I was on the outside. She got up like 12 times. And then finally I started falling asleep, and we had the worst turbulence ever on this flight. The plane just dropped, boom. I was like, oh man, so that woke me up. And I literally probably got about 10, 15 minutes of sleep on the plane, and then drove to the crib. And yeah, it was a rough Monday. So I say that to say.
Hey, you messed up my truth though, see? That's my truth, the red eye. That's my truth. Didi hates the red eye.
You sleep on the flight though, huh?
Yeah, but I'm just saying now y'all got Didi against me because she hates it. She like, I gotta, because we do it on Friday night. So then she got to get there, get home because you know we got that hour and a half drive. Then she's got to take a quick nap, shower, and go to church.
And so
she
I was trying to figure out how you did that last week, E. Yeah,
That's all I do, bro. I love it. And she got a potluck where she got to bring the chicken. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, what in the devil? You got me making chicken. I got to go to the grocery store. So the new truth is we're going to stop doing red eyes. Didi, I vow to stop doing red eyes.
Yeah, then you just miss a whole day. But I'm like, you know what? I ain't no good on that day anyway. So let me I'd rather be 100%, you know, Tuesday through Friday than 20% for the rest of the week. Because I'm just the type, I can't catch up on sleep. Like Candace could be like, yo, I went hard for 3 days. I'm about to sleep 15 hours today. Like I can't do it. Like maximum I get is 6.5 hours, 7 on a great day. But I'm up, so it don't matter. So the time change, all of that was crazy. But guess what helped me get back? That Organifi. Okay?
Organifi.
Organifi put life back in my body when I drank it. I felt myself coming alive. So check out Organifi, man, the superfood green juice powder that everybody's talking about in our circle, everybody's rocking with. Use the promo code SUCCESS, get 20% off your order, all right? That's 20%. All right, that's a lot, all right? So use the promo code, man, rock with us, and help me and Carl get an insider, okay? All right,
please.
Cool.
I know that's right.
Go.
Hey, you think if I call the airport, if I call Lost and Found, they know where my pack of Organifi is?
Oh, they probably do. If you call my man Tyrone over in San Diego.
It's gone.
Yeah, I'm about to call my man. Like,
over in
look,
San Diego
somebody
definitely know where it's at.
Somebody took my pack. Can you tell me where my pack is?
Hey, Organifi too precious. That's gone. See, Wallet, we can replace everything in there. Organifi, that powder is gone. We can't replace that.
You know what's crazy about why I was so nervous about losing my wallet? I was like, yo, I'm not even tripping on. You could cancel your cards, right? Somebody got your ID, it is what it is. There's only so much you can do. I was having the shakes thinking about having to call and redo my license.
Right.
That is the thing that just heats you up. It's crazy. So,
all right, let me get our second sponsor in real quick. We've been rocking with our second sponsor, Hellofresh, now for a couple months as well. With Hellofresh, each box is made up of fresh, responsibly obtained ingredients selected from high-rated, trusted farms. There are 3 plans that you can choose from. There's the classic plan, which contains a variety of meats. There's the veggie plan, which contains vegetarian as well as plant-based proteins. And of course, there's the family plans, which are quick and easy meals for those of you on the go. With their Global Eats option, it helps to bring authentic international dishes and flavors to home cooks for exciting new meals. The convenient part is that all ingredients come pre-measured and labeled meal kits. Cooking will become something you actually look forward to when coming home from work. This week, my family did the mushroom ravioli gratin. Man, let me tell y'all something. And I'm not a big pasta fan like that, but the mushrooms, the thyme, the Parmesan, you put all these things together, and I'm getting hungry now again talking about it. But my wife, again, not pasta lovers by any means necessary, but this is one that we're gonna add to the weekly, the weekly routine that we throwing in there now. Like this one has made it. We got the my other favorite one we did was this black bean burrito that was fire. We did the vegetarian options because my parents are here with me and they're rocking the vegetarian. But that black bean joint and this ravioli, those are two new favorites. So with subscribing to HelloFresh, there are many benefits. So you can keep enjoying week after week. Get delicious, filling meals delivered right to your door every single week for less than $10 per serving. And of course, free shipping. Manage your account easily by choosing your delivery date to match your schedule and just pause it when you're on vacation. So sign up today for a total of $60 off. That's $20 off your first 3 boxes. You can visit HelloFresh.com/success60 and use that promo code SUCCESS60. And once again, that's SUCCESS60. All right, let's jump into Ask ET.
All right, let's move on. It's me, Simbe T. How do you excel in different areas of your life without losing momentum in another area?
It sounds like Didi said I wasn't excelling in any area. So I had to do that over again. No, I think I look at my life first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. I look at first quarter, 15 minutes, second quarter, 15 minutes, and really say to myself, like, you can't always do what you love doing, what you're great at, So when you get to a certain space, let's just say financially, I get to a certain place economically, it's like, you could probably do another 10 gigs this month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a problem for me. I could probably, if there's 30 days out of the month, I probably can get, a gig for each day. I may not necessarily get the asking price, but I'm sure somebody would let me speak for some money somewhere. But it gets to a point where Didi is like, okay, how much do we need to be happy, to take care of our responsibilities? And then at that point, it's like, okay, now it's time to cut that off. I fill that glass up. That's the glass of money. Now I need to work on the glass of my marriage. Then I need to work on family. Then I need to work on health. Then I need to work on ETA. Then I would need to work on. So I just think, you got to get to a point where you know what's the benchmark, what's the goal. And when you get there, it's like, all right, let me start pouring whatever you want to call it, whatever the liquid is, water, whatever. I got to start pouring it in this container. So that's kind of how I look at it.
This comes from You Will Not Outwork Me on Instagram. Does he preach in his Sunday best, or does he preach in his regular grind?
We're talking about truth now. It is his regular best. It's true. That's his truth.
I like that, Carl. I like that. But I will say this. It wasn't until this year that I felt comfortable, in wearing what I normally wear. Because it was weird to me. It was like, okay, people can accept me in a hat here, but I'm at church, they can't. And I was like, you know what, E, you got to really do what's comfortable for you. And one day, see, we'll talk about this, but just the way my mind works, I promise you, if I can't be me 100%, I'm not going to be able to. My message is not going to come off the same way. And I tell you, there was a time when I used to be in a shirt and a tie, and I would see certain people in the room, and I would be thinking about, man, if I had on my T-shirt and my hat, they would really, they would take their guards down. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. And then I just remember this year saying, E, you're speaking to them. You're not speaking to the people who are already, knowledgeable in the church. And so symbolically, you got to be able to relate to them. But it took me so long mentally to get to a place where I was comfortable being me in church. So we'll have to talk about that one day, because that's a weakness for me. And you guys always see me kind of like in this strong light. And I have to talk about some of my insecurities when it comes to tradition and dogma. So we'll walk through that one day.
Coach Trey all day said, I have an older son from a past relationship and younger sons with my current wife. My oldest has and still is exposed to conflicting value, not just from my previous lifestyle, but from his mother's side. We now serve together. Hard work is expected. Education is the most important thing. There's very little involvement from his mother's. There's no reinforcement on her end. How do I influence him effectively without throwing the opposite side of his family under the bus? Good question.
Yeah, I guess live your truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we talked about today. She gonna have a truth, you got a truth. And you just gotta live yours and hope that you live it so well that he can embrace some of, those truths. Like, I don't know if you ever heard me and C talk about, like when you talk about debates or arguments, like my truth was where I came from, it's like, this is how you do an argument, or this is how you respond after an argument. So I saw C, and his truth was a different truth. And I was like, oh yeah, that one's a little bit more healthier. I like to try to, I don't know that I'll be able to do that, but I know that the results of those are better than the ones that I have. So I'm gonna give it a shot. And so I just think when you live a truth, if people are attracted to it and admire it, they will make the decision of if they want to follow this truth or this truth. So just try to make yours as attractive and as, as productive and healthy as possible.
Good. Let's take one more. Let's see. Actually, fair foul. You guys haven't had Toby on the podcast yet. No, we haven't had Toby on the podcast yet, but I'm going to get Toby on the podcast. CJ, is it possible to sponsor the podcast? Absolutely. If you want to sponsor the podcast, Carl, what can they do if they want to sponsor the podcast?
Just shoot me an email, kphillips@etinspires.com, KPHILLIPS@etinspires.com.
Mm-hmm. And all the groupies, feel free to slide in Carl's email as well.
Get it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's not going to respond, but it'll make his ego feel good. You know what I'm saying? Since our wives are miserable. You know what I'm saying? Since we got miserable wives, while we out here trying to change the world, be great, faithful husbands who provide a great living, travel and trips. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, listen, I'm about to get myself in trouble. But I just know there are some women out there listening to the podcast like, yo, their wives are bugging. I know. And if that's you, K Phillips, KPH. You know what I'm saying? And feel free to drop DD to me.
Maybe we should redefine misery. Maybe we should ask
misery.
Let's define what misery is.
She said we miserable. I'm like, yo, if this is misery, oh man, unbelievable.
Now, I know she talked to Tamisha regularly. I don't know if she talked to Candace, so she might not have Candace correct, but I know.
She got Tamisha paid.
Well, at least we know Dita's miserable for sure.
Right, for sure.
Hold on,
right, we got one for sure.
Yeah, I talked to her too.
Wow.
I talked to Candace as well.
Oh, 3 for 3.
Right. So
3 for 3.
we got to redefine. We have to redefine miserable.
The miserable millionaire to the miserable wives. You know what I'm
There
saying?
it is.
That's unbelievable, bro.
Wow.
You know, sometimes you just look around, you just throw your hands up and, just say, Lord, help. You know what I'm saying?
Help me, Jesus. Help me.
Yeah. Que sera, sera. You know what I'm saying?
Well, be what be.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, hey, but if you got our back out there, like, you know what I'm saying? Because here go the problem I got. Okay, never mind. Let me not. That's another podcast. Y'all said we're going to save
podcast.
it. You said we're going to save it. You know what I'm saying? You said we're going to save it.
We're almost at 1:30.
Okay, well, let's go then. Carl, hit us with some announcements. Get that nugget of the day ready.
Oh, I already got it. It's the
hopefully it's something positive.
miserable love company. I got it already.
Pick me up. I'm going to need it after this. My wife is miserable.
On my birthday. Shout out to CJ and his birthday. Realized he's a miserable husband.
Hey, even though we still have it on our website, Take Control is over, so let's just scratch that one off.
Is it
We'll get
over
that
for the
off
year or
today.
over? Like, because I feel like we got a couple more in us.
Hey, that's your call. It's over for the year. I'm going to say it like that.
Sure, we still got some cities that I wanted to hit with that, man. So we got to go to Toronto and do a Take Control.
Oh, yeah, we haven't been in Toronto at all.
Toronto like crazy. All right, we'll check on that. But it's the last one for the year for sure.
For the last one for the year, we'll say it like that. So up next, of course, December 2nd, Ignite. That word alone should just get you fired up. Ignite the dream. Inky Johnson, E.T., and Toby and Wigwe, y'all. Come on. Like, I don't know how the crew that y'all could put together that could top that right now. The Lions definitely ain't got 3 that could match that. Maybe Golden State. But we got the top 3 that we're going to take anybody out, y'all. So Ignite the Dream New York, December 2nd. And then last but not least, man, we giving y'all a couple months out still. Phenomenal Life Jamaica, Montego Bay, Jamaica, February 25th to March 3rd. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to miss that. Just from this weekend,
need to
man.
hurry up. I need that.
Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow.
I know. I want people to understand, like, when I say Sean is speaking, like I want to just give, like, Sean gave us, I'm talking about 3 practical things, and I'm not going to blow it out, but I'm going to give you one. He said literally walking for 20 minutes a day could increase your lifespan by, I think it was 2 years. Like, 20 minutes a day.
He about to live to 150.
He going to live to 150. But seriously, like, practical stuff. For real. My dad will never die. Yeah, he'd be walking like, I'm talking about, like, before we wake up in the morning, he got 10,000 steps. But no, for real, y'all, like practical stuff that everybody can do. We're not coming in here doing seminars and stuff that's over your head. Like, this is practical information, man, that you can use no matter where you at. Not only in the health, we doing it in the business, we doing it in the family. So come on, join us. Everybody is invited February 25th again through March 3rd. Phenomenal Life Jamaica. That's it, y'all.
If you have enough energy after being...
Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it, y'all. That's my gift. That's my gift. I got it.
Okay, praise God. Well, I need it. So bring it from the bottom this time.
Yeah, I'm talking about from the bottom.
All the way.
Hey, for real.
All the way.
Guys, as we've been talking today, man, it's so many, like, just daily trials maybe, or tribulations, or like news that you get that just throws you off. Listen to me. Take control, guys. Listen to me. Take control. I'm being serious. No one has the right to tell you how much money to make or not to make. Nobody has the right to dictate your happiness. Nobody has the right to dictate your health. Like, look, some of you who are listening, you are out of control, and you have given your control to somebody else. You're out of control in your health. You're out of control in maybe your relationship. You're out of control in your finances. Like, you got debt on debt on debt. And look, I just want to show you the secret to success. Just like you're out of control, to turn your whole life around, all you got to do is take control. All you have to do is take control. So take control of your health. He said Sean gave you one practical step to change your entire life. So it's your boy E.T. saying, look, as challenging as it may seem, like for real, it seems, if you average, I promise you, homeless people, like I got much respect for them. They not putting themselves under a whole bunch of pressure. I promise you. Average, look, but when you become great, man, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot you have to do. It's a lot of grind. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot. But the one thing I can tell you at the end of the day, because it's so much and we're willing to make the sacrifices, we're in control. We're in control of our finances. We're in control of our future. We're in control. We're in control. We're in control. So do yourself a favor. Stop whining and complaining and take control. Not 2019. You still have legitimately 2 months to turn your entire life around. And when that ball drops, I promise you, for those of you who are obese, you 500-600 pounds, you have the ability to go into the new year working out. You got the ability to start eating right. Like you have the ability. You got a student loan, your credit score is whacked, they repoed your stuff. You can make different decisions, and I promise you, you can turn this thing around. It's not too late. It's not over, right? It's not as bad as you think it is. So do me a favor, stop talking and take control. It's your boy, E.T.
Hey, appreciate that nugget of the day. Shout out to Organifi. Shout out to everybody out there listening. Go leave us a review on iTunes, man. We love you. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might.